When fire ripped through David's apartment block, he and 3 others had the awful choice to either face the flames or jump from the top floor. It was a life and death decision that left David with serious long-term injuries. Now, fire safety experts are joining David to warn about safety standards in public housing.
As flames and smoke ripped through this Newcastle apartment block,
the unit of origin totally destroyed by fire.
It became a choice between life or death for those stuck on the top floor.
I was horrified, I was terrified. I thought I was going to die.
4 people forced to jump from a 3rd-storey window onto the grass and concrete below. David Slowfell was one of them. After 2 weeks in a hospital bed, the 58-year-old returned to the scene for the first time.
All right, let's have a look at this joint.
Taking us back to that night on December 16.
I got woken up, I don't know exactly what time, but I think it was about sometime between 10 and 10:30.
David had been asleep in his 3rd-floor bedroom. He had some friends staying with him.
Said, run, run. They knew they had to yelk to them hearing aids in. And I could smell the smoke. I got up, ran through the unit, knew that it wasn't at my place.
The blaze had begun in the apartment 2 stories below David's, but within seconds, everyone on his floor was trapped.
Felt the door first, realised it wasn't too hot. But as soon as I opened it, you can see how black the building is. Well, that was the colour of the smoke that just come ripping through the house. And then this almighty fireball, I could see it come from the ground floor, just come rushing straight up.
The single staircase of the building was full of flames and smoke. David directed the group toward the 2 front windows where 2 people jumped to safety.
Because I knew there was garden and grass. When the second person had landed and rolled away, all these windows just exploded outwards.
Wow. David and 2 others retreated to the smaller windows around the other side of the apartment.
This is where I get really hazy because I started to get really dizzy. I knew I was on my way out, the smoke was getting me.
A woman who was stuck with David began creating a rope out of sheets.
I told her to abandon that plan because, again, by this stage, there's flames coming up that side, flames coming up that side.
All they could do was jump.
You can see that little window up the top there.
Oh my God.
Where the screen is torn.
It's tiny. It's a tiny little hole that you've all just had to...
Yeah, it is. All I managed to do was land smack dead centre in the middle of this concrete.
Ouch.
Yeah.
David broke his pelvis, dislocated his jaw, and suffered fractures in his ankle and wrist. The others who jumped suffered similar injuries.
It's incredible that you are all alive.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
David's neighbour, Adam Telfer, also jumped from his 2nd-storey apartment that night.
As I opened the front door, just this big flame come up the stairway, so I had to shut the door. I just ran and jumped out the bedroom window and, landed on me 2 knees.
Adam since returned to his place.
How's your knees going?
Yeah, good. They're healed up now. Yeah.
But with just the one staircase acting as the main access and fire escape, he doesn't feel safe.
Like you think fire exit, you go down the staircase, but the flames were coming up the staircase, so straight out the window.
There's no fire escape, no ladders. If the main stairwell is as it was that night, full of flame and smoke, you are stuck.
David says 3 weeks before the fire, his door was smashed in by some thieves. Homes New South Wales replaced it with a plywood door.
I didn't ask for that. I asked for a safety door, I asked for a fire door, it was refused.
ACurrentAffair understands the building, which was built in 1970, was fitted with fire safety systems based on the code requirements at the time of construction. There's currently no legislation to ensure older buildings in New South Wales are upgraded to comply with new standards.
Upgrading is controlled very much by local councils.
Building certifier Victor Jago specialises in fire safety upgrades.
They can become aware of an upgrade via a complaint made by a community member, a person within the building. There could be an incident, an actual fire incident that obviously brings forward matters of fire safety.
It shouldn't take an incident, a fire, people jumping from a third-storey window for change to happen.
It's probably the thing that concerns me the most. It's why I advocate for buildings to be proactive. You would initially raise it with your managing agent, possibly the strata committee members.
David's building is government owned by Homes New South Wales. Newcastle City Council told ACurrentAffair it hadn't been contacted before the fire to conduct an assessment.
As it stands right now, I'm in this state. There's a girl who may never walk again. For the sake of a cheap doll.
Due to his injuries, David can't return to his apartment, which has also been ransacked whilst he has been in hospital.
I know the TV's gone, I know the microwave's gone, I know a lot of my clothes are gone, I know rooms have been turned upside down. It was my pride and joy to keep that place nice, and the photos I've seen just break my heart.
When David called Homes New South Wales from his hospital bed, pleading for a new place to go, he was told staff were on Christmas break.
She could read on the file that I was in hospital, but there was nothing she could do to help me in terms of accommodation.
So ACurrentAffair intervened. Homes has confirmed it's working with David to find a suitable wheelchair-accessible home for him, with a promise to cover all relocation costs. David says he shouldn't have to contact ACurrentAffair for action to be taken.
When push comes to shove, I would like to think that these agencies have teams, departments, resources dedicated to people who need it.
I don't think there's any difference between what is a government-owned building and what is a privately owned or a strated building. I mean, there's people who live in that building, they're human beings.
The cause of the blaze is still under investigation, and David still has a long road to recovery.
Everybody please stay away from burning buildings and jumping out of third-storey windows, especially under concrete. Apparently it's not real good for you.
Despite it all, his resilience and ability to still find humour is admirable.
Christmas wasn't all bad. I did get my very own Superman suit.
Hey!
For next time I've got to jump out a window.
Let's hope there is never a next time. In some other good news, David's moved into temporary accommodation as housing looks for a new permanent home for him and his cats.